Good afternoon, distinguished guests, families, and most importantly, the graduating certified public managers, class 21. I'm Joy Grimmer. I have the honor of serving as the director of the Department of Administration. Also here with me today, we have instructors and leaders from the Division of Human Resource Management, including Administrator Bashir Washington. Yay. Today we gather not just to celebrate the completion of a program, but to recognize a commitment to leadership, integrity, and service to the people of the great state of Nevada. Graduates, the Certified Public Manager program is not easy. I had the honor of graduating in class 14 a few years ago. It was an 18-month program that requires discipline, collaboration, a willingness to grow. You've balanced demanding careers, family responsibilities, and community commitments. That says something powerful about who you are. Public service is not simply a profession, it's a trust. Every policy drafted, every budget that gets balanced, every decision that we make affects real families, real businesses, and real communities. From Las Vegas to Reno, from our rules to our tribal lands, your work strengthens the very foundation of Nevada. You're now part of a network of leaders. Your classmates will be a foundation of a network of people that you will work with for years to come. I can see some of mine here today. They understand that effective government is not just about headlines, it's about outcomes. It's about improving processes, stewarding taxpayer dollars responsibly, and ensuring public institutions serve all Nevadans with fairness. So as you move forward in your careers, I encourage you to lead with courage, lead with transparency, lead with humility and kindness. Continue asking hard questions, continue challenging the status quo, and never lose sight of why you chose public service in the first place. And now it's my great honor to introduce a leader who understands the weight and responsibility of public service, a leader who has dedicated his career to safety, strength, and success of our state. Before serving as the governor, he spent decades in law enforcement, including sheriff of Clark County. He has built his career on accountability, leadership, and a commitment to public safety and economic opportunity for all Nevadans. We would also like to thank him for his continued support for the CPM program. Please join me in welcoming the 31st governor of the state of Nevada, the Honorable Joe Lombardo.
Thank you, Joy. And thank you, each and every one of you, for not booing when she said of Clark County. It was pretty good. Not one little person strayed from that comment. Because you knew I was paying attention. So, all right. So, before I get into my comments, one of the key words that Joy used was humility. Jack, did you hear that? Yes, sir. Okay. Jack's my buddy. So, okay, welcome to the graduation of the 21st class of the Nevada Certified Public Manager Program. And Joy also mentioned leader. So, you know, every time we refer to this program, we say manager. And I think it should be dual titled, manager/leader. Is that possible? Or do we fail to get grant money if we change it?
We may lose our national accreditation.
Oh, okay. So I could just say it in my speech though, right?
Yes.
All right. Since 2005, CPM has certified over 800 graduates representing 40 plus agencies and local municipalities. It's the state's premier tool for succession planning. Each graduate completed hundreds of hours of classroom instruction and outside assignments. They each produced a capstone project, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second, that addressed a customer service or quality improvement initiative within their agency. In the last 20 years, capstone projects have realized a return of nearly $50 million in cost savings, process improvements, and customer service enhancements. I think that sentence bears repeating because quite often in government, we talk about that's the way we've always done it, right? And you don't save $50 million by doing things with that vernacular of that's the way we've always done it. So I can't thank them enough for the constant improvement on the government process. The impact of the program is simple. It produces quality managers / leaders ready to take on the challenges of the next generation. Today, we are honoring 37 graduates. Is that right, Joy? Sure? I got the number right? All right, good. So across the board, they represent 12 state agencies, 2 state boards, and 1 from the Nevada system of higher education. 1. Who is that? Good job. The capstone, I won't go into the reason why I made that little joke, but it doesn't matter. The capstone projects this year's class produced an enhanced state government operations. They saw over $543,000 in cost savings and reduced the time it takes to serve our citizens by 95,500 man hours. Good job. And you know that man hours is all encompassing. Here are just a few examples of the impact of this year's capstones. So the capstones is the actual projects that each individual graduate is assigned, but I have a couple highlights here. So Rachel Branner. Guess where she works? The Cannabis Compliance Board. Improve the process for suitability investigations of licensees, saving $34,970 in 2026. The CCB's budget isn't general fund. That means the money she saved directly impacts the funds available for a distributive school account for funding Nevada K through 12 education. Thank you. Next, we have Julian Mackey. There you go. Well, this explains why she didn't get much applause. She's from the Department of Taxation. Hey, when we talk about taxes and it comes to government, we got to have a little bit better attitude. If you talk about the IRS, that's a whole different story, all right? Standardize their IT application development process, saving $213,360 in staff time. That's humongous. That's humongous. Thank you. All right, and then another one is Mark McBride. From the Nevada Department of Veterans. Optimize transportation options for veterans in rural counties to more efficiently get them to VA medical appointments. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal, very big deal. Shanna Cobb Adams. Where at? Oh, there you go. Improve Medicaid compliance by fixing time coding practices for DHS, that's the Department of Health Services, that saved the state over $273,732 in fiscal year 2026. You know, in the future, Bashir, we should have the press here, right? No, I mean, the government is saving money, right? They quite often opine on our performance by saying we're costing taxpayers money, but yet we're doing something about it, right? This year's graduates have achieved a designation that requires a tremendous amount of commitment, time management, and perseverance. On behalf of the state's workforce and its citizens, let me say thank you. Thank you. So without further ado, let me ask Bashir Washington, Administrator for the Division of Human Resource Management. Do you have to say that every time you introduce yourself? Durham, from Durham, to introduce our two class speakers before we honor each graduate. So come forward, Bashir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon. Before I introduce the cohorts, I'd like to acknowledge my team who have been amazing. First is our Employee Development Manager, Rob Horgan. Rebecca Kennard. William Kinson. Greg Morangi. And we have our own graduate, I'm so proud, Luis Moreno. And if I, can get the folks who have already completed the CPM program to just stand or raise your hand and be acknowledged. Can I say thank you for your willingness to just come and cheer on everyone who is graduating today. Thank you for being here. I'm going to introduce both speakers. When they come up, one will come up one at a time. Our first speaker representing the northern cohort will be Elizabeth Johnson. And then our second speaker representing the south will be Andrew Martinez. So Elizabeth.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am humbled and honored to have been nominated by my class to represent them, especially considering how awesome every one of them is. I'd also like to thank DCNR and Endor leadership for allowing me this opportunity to participate in the program, the continued support of the governor for this very important program, to my staff that were patient with me while I disappeared for 3 days at a time to go to class, and also to my husband that provided late night, last minute editing help on my CPM homework. Even though I continually pushed back on some of his editing choices, I'd like to note he is a professional writer, but some people have very strong opinions about the use of the Oxford comma, and I am one of them. Okay, so there's some Oxford comma people in the room, so you know what I'm talking about. Before my current role at DCNR, my leadership experience had been through sports, as a teammate, as a coach, and I've always enjoyed helping others overcome their challenges, achieving their goals. And when the opportunity came along to partake in CPM training, I got really excited because I realized that not everybody wants to be led like an athlete might want to be led. And so this course offered me that opportunity to expand upon that skill set. You know, to be a good manager, to be a good leader is a skill to be learned, a skill to be mentored. And a good manager can make the difference between a happy and effective workforce and not. The CPM program meets everyone where they are at, affirming skill sets we might already have had, building upon them and teaching us new ones. And regardless of experience or background, there's something in this program for everyone. In the first week of class, we were tasked with secretly getting to know another classmate. We had to learn 3 positive things about them, and then at the end of the week, we would present it to them and the rest of the class. So throughout this 3-day clandestine mission, we started small talk with them, sat next to them in class, maybe awkwardly invited ourselves to their lunch plans, all in an attempt to secretly get to know more about them. The name I picked out was Michael Palfrey. Michael started the program with us representing Nevada's Gaming Control Board as their longtime IT systems manager. During that week, it didn't take long to learn more than 3 great things about Michael. He radiated joy. He had an infectious laugh, an outgoing personality, and was always good to come in quick with a joke, which sometimes helped break up some of that content during class, which we always appreciated. And some of the room may have the opportunity to have known Michael better than I did. But I'm honored that I got to know him, and I think we can all agree that we lost him too soon during our class. During these 18 months, we turned speeches around. In under 24 hours, we created and presented solutions to agency problems in under 36, and we attempted to survive a subarctic plane crash. And I'd like to note that my team crushed that one, which further legitimizes my leadership role at the Division Outdoor Recreation. We also got to know each other, if that's a passion for being Dungeon Master for Dungeons & Dragons, or the preparation it goes to getting ready and prepared for a bodybuilding competition. We built relationships and we leaned on each other for support. My interaction with Michael and so many of my classmates speaks to the exceptional talent our state employs. How stressed we all were over these 18 months really demonstrates how much we all care and want to do an excellent job. So we should all be really proud, North and South, of what we've accomplished. And I just want to give a huge congratulations to my teammates. We did it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Martinez, and I've had the privilege of being in the North class as well as in the South class off and on. I got to spend a little time with each one, and it was a great time. But for some of you who might not know, I graduated back in 1990 from the Marine Military Academy in Harlingen, Texas. That was a long time ago. It's a super competitive type of school, and I was slated to be the valedictorian. But due to some last-minute extra homework done or grading done, things like that, I was overlooked. But being as prepared as I am, I still have that speech today. And I thought it might be able to read this to you now, and we could glean a little bit from it. It says, "Congratulations, graduating class of 1990. We have done it. Today we receive the honors of all our hard work and dedication that we strove to come to. Yes, we have witnessed some great events and faced some trials, like the criticism for our baggy clothes, the high gas prices, Hillary Duff on tour, conflicts in the Middle East, Scrubs is on TV. And I even think Scary Movie's coming out next week or something like that. Wait a minute, is this 1990s or is this today? But just, honestly, let me get to the point of this, is that thinking about the 1990s made me reminisce about a leadership class I took with Gunnery Sergeant Wisnowski. And during that time, he shared a parable with me, and I thought that would be really appropriate to share with all of you, and especially our graduating certified public managers. He said, basically there was a newlywed couple, and they just gotten married, and this husband was just always around his wife and excited to be around his wife. And she was making dinner, and he's hovering over her, kind of annoying her a little bit. He goes and he's watching her, and she cuts the pot roast in half. And he's like, "Hey, why do you do that? Why do you cut that pot roast in half?" And she goes, "Well, that's just the way my mom did it." And she goes, "Oh, interesting. Well, just so happens that mother-in-law is coming over for dinner that night." And the conversation's going along, and he's talking. He says, hey, hey, Mom, why do you cut the pot roast in half? And she's like, I don't know. I just do it because that's the way my mom did it. And I was like, interesting. Now, all of a sudden, it's starting to fester in his brain a little bit. He's starting to think about this over and over again. And it just so happens that Grandma is still alive. So he goes to visit Grandma with his wife. And while he's there, he's like, I got to ask you this question. I've asked your daughter, I've asked your granddaughter, why do you cut that pot roast in half? Why do you cut it? Does it cook better? Does it cook faster? Do the spices get into it a little bit more? And she turns to him and she goes, no. She goes, I cut it in half because I don't have a pot big enough for that pot roast. The moral of that story is you need to ask questions and continue to ask questions to make sure that the way we are doing things is the correct way of doing things. Like you need to ask, why do we do it this way? Is there a better process? Is there anything we don't know or could do better? Just because something is always done a certain way doesn't mean it is always the best. And as leaders now and the new certified public managers, we need to continue to ask those questions. We need to continue to see if there's better ways of doing things, especially with the courses that we learned like types and temperaments, transactions and transformation leadership, crucial accountability, utilizing all that and asking these specific questions to systems and processes that are in place. We can make the state of Nevada even better than it is today. So in conclusion, in preparation of the speech, I watched a lot of videos about the other speeches that were given, and they quoted historical figures, they quoted leaders, they quoted so many different people. And I thought I would like to give you a great quote today, especially for this class that's worked so hard and so diligently. It's from the 90s, though, but in the words of Bart Simpson, don't have a cow, man. Make sure you take everything with a grain of salt. Because life's going to throw challenges your way. Work's going to throw challenges your way. There are many things you're going to face. But if you face it with a good attitude and don't let your joy be robbed, then you'll go on to do great things. Thank you so much, you guys, for letting me speak.
Gosh, Bart Simpson took me back. All right, so let's introduce the 2026 Certified Public Manager graduates. If the northern cohorts could please stand. Oh.
Stand here.
Yeah. Case, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Casey Angris, Nevada Health Authority. Janelle Clark, Department of Transportation. Shauna. Shauna Cobb Adams, Department of Health Services. Stephanie Cook, Department of Health Services. Nicholas Cranston, Department of Motor Vehicles. Kelly Gaworski, Department of Transportation. Andrew Granada, Department of Public Safety. Aldine Hobbs, Department of Motor Vehicles. Nicole Huckstra, Department of Public Safety. Elizabeth Johnson, Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. Teresa Jones, Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation. Lynn Q, Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. Christiana Lundeen, Gaming Control Board. Jillian Mackey, Department of Taxation. Brittany Malley, Department of Agriculture. Ellen Marquez, Nevada Health Authority. Stephanie Matthews, Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. Mark McBride, Department of Veteran Services. Matthew McCulley, Department of Motor Vehicles. Christopher Wright, Department of Taxation. I'd like to now introduce the Southern cohorts. Rosa Alejandre, Nevada Health Authority. Bertha Bobadilla, Department of Health Services. Rachel Branner, Cannabis Compliance Board. Anthony Choki, Department of Public Safety. Vanessa Delgado Acosta, Department of Health Services. Liliana Garcia, UNLV. Linnell Gibson, Department of Health Services. John Jantz, Department of Health Services. Sheila Kildea, Department of Health Services. Christine De Leon, Department of Motor Vehicles. Andrew Martinez, Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation. Valerie Martinez, Secretary of State. Luis Marino, Department of Administration. Woo! Sandra Stone, Department of Health Services. Adam Teddy, Department of Business and Industry. Laura Turner, Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation. Jason Vorse, Department of Transportation. I'm sorry. Oh, yes, if everyone, oh, there it is, hello. If everyone could, if your cohorts could please stay so that you can get pictures with the governor. And we thank you all for attending. We thank you for your participation, and we hope you have a wonderful afternoon. All right.